You are listening to Radio Islam International. This is live rolling coverage from the Nasrec Center in the south of Johannesburg as the ANC holds its 55th National Elective Conference. Joining us in studios here at Radio Islam is Pule Mabe, the ANC spokesperson for the party. Mr. Pule Mabe, thank you very much for your time and welcome to Radio Islam International.
Evening to your listeners.
There were significant delays. The conference got started very late. Around 12 o'clock, some reports were suggesting that only 40% of the delegates were processed and accredited. This leads to the delay in all other items on the agenda. How does the party handle all of these delays going into the conference tomorrow?
Greetings once more. I must stress that not starting the conference on time should not be viewed in any way or suggest in any way that we will not be able to see conference until the end. We had a number of technical glitches at registration, and we had to make sure that we are thorough in terms of how we process delegates from provinces, ensuring that replacements that are done consistent with our own internal protocols at an administrative level. So that is really what caused delays. So that to your listeners here and abroad, a message is never sent to suggest that this might be signaling a crisis. There is no crisis in the African National Congress. The ANC is a very dynamic organization. It creates space for anyone and everyone to express themselves. To chant whatever slogans that they may prefer to chant. But our big ask to everyone in the organization is that whatever they do and however they conduct or carry themselves, at the center of everything else must be the unity of the organization. Because we know fully well that when the ANC is united, its ability to deliver to the masses of our people and fulfill the promise it made of a better life for all would be realized. So, judging us on whether we started our meeting on time or not can't really be a critical factor that has got to even shoot down our ability to do our work. We are still here doing our work. If we started late, it follows that we will then have to subject ourselves to extra hours of doing work. You would recall that some of the things that we have to do to address whatever resolutions we may want to arrive at is the work that we did during the policy conference. Conference out of its own accord and standing can take a decision that some of the items on the agenda, especially those that are located outside its own policy framework, could be deferred and can be discussed outside this meeting so that you focus your energies on those where you want to make policy decisions. But it is not my space to say so. So one is quite confident that we will be able to conclude this conference having attended to all of the issues that are before us.
Just to pick on one point that you mentioned, the point of unity, and the President also acknowledged it in his address, that the delegates feel that they are united on the ground, but that this unity in the top leadership ranks. How do you interpret this as a member of the ANC?
Just come again, my interpretation of?
So, the President in his address acknowledged, and he says that there's a feeling amongst the delegates that they are united on the ground, but the disunity is more on the leadership front, on the top ranks, and because of that, it's filtering down on the lower ranks. How do you interpret this?
Well, the President makes a correct assessment, and that assessment is a reflection of the conclusion that our National Executive Committee made. We have often said that if we place our interest first and forget about the people we lead, our efforts to consolidate a policy drive and being able to drive the kind of recovery we need is going to be made difficult by personality differences. We have to understand that an organization that always claims to be led by selfless men and women takes out of its own frame personality differences. When our organization look at the leadership of the ANC, they must see us as one united front, committed to the fulfillment of the ideals of the African National Congress, the achievement and protection and sustenance of the National Democratic Revolution, the realization of the National Democratic Society, the protection of everyone in the country, black and white, the upholding of all religious groups in the country. So that is one of the things that we ought to do. Part of what we said should be seen as the dawns, even in our own program, is chauvinism, is xenophobia, is racism, is ethnicism. You know, so we really debar such things, as we do not think that we frown upon those. So we do not think that they represent what we stand for. So if we see unity as being sacrosanct, it means that the building blocks of unity must be ourselves in the leadership. And that can only happen if we carry ourselves in that way.
Finally, Mr. Pule Mabe, this afternoon you were addressing the media and you said it's for the last time you will be as the official spokesperson of the ANC as your term comes to an end. What has been the highlight for you as the spokesperson of the party? What can you share with us?
Well, the greatest highlight of one's tenure as being spokesperson of the ANC has been the great lessons that came with this responsibility. Has been the many people that I met with, the exchanges I've had, sometimes highly charged. But each one of those lessons I did not take lightly. It has been me understanding that I need to move out of the closet, be out there, engage, become the custodian of policy positions of the ANC, represent what is the best for the movement, take myself out of everything else that I say, but make sure that every time I speak, I take an oath and I stick to my oath of allegiance, my true convictions that the ANC must come first, must always be the ANC. If it meant that I must repeat the message of the ANC many a times, I must do so. And if I did not do it well, and if there are members of the media that I might have angered along the way, I must take this opportunity now to apologize to them and say it was part of a learning path. And I hope that in my next life, when I meet with them, we'll still be able to shake hands. It has not been an easy one. And I wish whoever is coming to occupy this position the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pule Mabe, speaking to us here at Radio Islam International.